What's good, YouTube? It's your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another video. Today we talking about Hornets versus Detroit Pistons, the arrival of Montrezl Harrel, and my boy LaMelo Ball. 2 30-point performances in a row.
Triple B's! AB the Hero, back at it, baby.
First off, I want to thank and give 2 shout outs here. Everybody who liked the video, right? I know that the folks who liked the video, y'all stomped out the like button, and that's always much appreciated, right? But I've been showing y'all this. We're on our way to 20K, so I want to give a shout out to everybody who been slamming the damn subscribe button as well, because we're about to hit a milestone on this channel. And I also want to give a shout out to Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan right now, your Hornets, your trajectory as an owner is starting to change, right? Folks had you going down here and they was like, Mike might be the worst owner ever. But now with the emergence of LaMelo Ball and some of the moves that you've been making, folks are starting to be like, maybe Mike know what he's talking about. So shout out to Michael Jordan. And yes, Michael Jordan, not Michael B. Jordan, but shout out to both of y'all, because y'all doing big things. Shout out to Lloyd Harvey too. All right, now we over here. We see it. Welcome to Buzz City, Montrezl Harrel. We did a video talking about this yesterday, and I was saying, yo, this might be what the doctor ordered. This might be what we needed. From what I hear, from what I heard, no, I'm playing. From what I heard from a lot of people in the community was, we need the big, right? I was saying it to everybody. You watch any Hornets games, you were saying, yo, y'all need a big. Y'all need a big. Now, when we did, in all of the time when I was saying, like, who is the big we need? I do not think Montrezl Harrel name came up one time, period. Not one time. But when it did come up, I was like, now it made sense. But I will say this, I also didn't realize Montrezl Harrel was only 6'7". But he's one of those guys, probably like a Charles Barkley, who is not as tall playing center or power forward as some other guys, but the presence on the court feels like they're much bigger, right? So we got to see him last night make his debut with this Hornets team versus the Detroit Pistons. Now, it's important to note that the Detroit Pistons are not good at all. But there was a lot of love shown after the game to Montrezl Harrel from this Hornets teammates, and even before the game, and ownership and the coaches and all of that stuff. Excited to have him there. One of the things that I find interesting, and we'll get into the recap of last night's game, is everybody was like, man, it's just so nice to have him here, change the culture, the way that he changed the energy, make you want to play defense for him and all of that stuff. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm listening to folks be like, man, y'all got teammates. Y'all got other dudes who was here and just left, and y'all just so excited. I know Montrezl feel amazing about it, but if I'm Mason Plumlee, I'm like, yo, wait a minute, man. I'm a big. I was here. Y'all wasn't running for me. Y'all wasn't. But it's all right. Let's get into it. All right, so 140 points scored, 141 points to be exact, scored by this Hornets team last night. Damn, and in the game that was, here's what I'm saying. It was 141 to 119, and that was probably closer than it should have been, right? The game should have been damn near 150 to 100. It seemed like it was going to be at one point. I think there's a point in the third quarter where it was like 100 to 70 or something like that, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. But the key and one of the catalysts for a night being so great was our guy LaMelo Ball. Let me see if I can bump in here, because that's a little tight. Our guy LaMelo Ball with what likely is one of those nights where we call him a career night. 31 points, 12 assists, 5 boards. This Hornets team had the ball moving last night. With the addition of Montrezl Harrel, who we'll talk about here, who was catching the one play from Book Knight. Book Knight drove to the rack, threw it up. I don't know if he was trying to score, if he was throwing a lob off the backboard. Montrezl catches it, double fisting it. But it was still a nice play. Obviously, let's see. They did not give James Bouknight an assist for that, so they called it a missed shot. Bouknight got 19 minutes, 27% from the field. That ain't gonna get it. 33% from here. No free throw attempts. A lot of folks was thinking with the trade of Ish Smith that was gonna open up time for Bouknight, and I was saying, if the Hornets organization felt like they needed to trade Ish Smith to make space for Bouknight, y'all tripping, right? That's a fumble in the bag. You should be able to play your first round draft pick, your lottery pick, over some vet y'all just picked up on accident. You ain't got to get rid of him to do that. Now, it's no point in having him on the team if you're gonna give his minutes to Bouknight or start merging the minutes somehow with a combination of Terry Rozier, Bouknight, and all of that stuff. But that you shouldn't have to wait on that trade to make that transition. But let's go back. Melo, 70% from the field, 77% from behind the arc, 80% from the free throw line. A tremendous night from him. But here's the thing that we always talk about with this Hornets organization is that you get compounding things happening. On nights like that where LaMelo gonna give you 30 from 70 and 70 and then 80, and then you got a Terry Rozier who giving you 50% from the field, 33% from behind the arc, but whatever, when you knocking down 3 threes and you scoring and Terry also giving you 25 points, 10 boards, and 11 assists, that's just 2 dudes. If you can get that consistently from 2 guys on this team, it's gonna be up. What typically happen though, it's a changing of the guard sometimes, right? If Terry has that type of stat line, then we can expect Miles to be diminished a little bit. Last night, that did not happen. Miles came through with the and then gave you 60% from the field, 40% from behind the arc, and then gave you 25 points of his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can get 3 of these Hornet players to go Banana-Yocho like that, it's going to be up and it's going to be stuck. Now, you also add the fact that you got Oubre, who, the tough part for Oubre is when he comes into the starting lineup like that, right? Obviously, you got your best players on the court. However, you lose some of the kick that you would get from having Oubre on the bench. Now, so you got Oubre with 11 points last night, but to be expected when you move him into the starting lineup, and now he becomes the 4th option. When you move him into, he coming off the bench, 6th man in it, then he's number 1 option guy, those points go up. Also, thing to know here is what makes this crazy is he still managed to get up 13 shots, right? Still managed to get up 10 3-pointers. So if he decides, if he has this same night, statistically we see these numbers come from everybody across the board, and then Oubre knocks down 3 of those, knocks down 4 from 10, this is a team that becomes really hard to beat on the offensive end, where it's hard to say if they got better with the Montrezl Harrel thing on the defensive end and protecting the paint. But I do think they added at least a body in there that really it's hard to see if it showed up last night. Like I said, Pistons are not a great team, but I want to compare 2 people real quick, Montrezl Harrel and Mason Plumlee, all right? There's some stuff that I've noticed from watching the game last night, things that I liked about what Montrez was doing that possibly you don't really get from Mason Plumlee, which makes this is a good, like, you know what I'm saying, access or whatever that's just called, where they fit together seamlessly, potentially, all right? You see Montrez, 22 points, 22 minutes, Mason Plumlee, 22 minutes. So down there split the game basically. But when I'm watching Montrez, one of the things that he does do, or I guess I could say does not do, is dribble. Montrez is not running the fast break. Montrez getting the board, find Melo, and then he takes off running. There was one play where grabs the board, tosses it to Melo. Melo throws it up to, I believe it's either Bridges or Terry. Montrez, who grabbed the rebound, is running. They toss it to him down the lane, 2-hand dunk. That is all you need. That's all they want. Just run the floor. the ball gonna move. You got shooters and scorers out here. The lane gonna clear and just run down the middle and get the ball. I promise you, if you go back and watch Chino Hills, JBA USA, LA Ballers, wherever they running that fast pace, that's what the big man is doing. Running the floor. And then easy buckets. Boom, boom, boom. Easy buckets all of the time. That's what Montrezl was doing a bit last night. I liked some of the action. I saw, I could see last night as well, they were trying to get Montrezl and Book Knight some chemistry in there, right? You can see they're trying to build that second unit out and give Book Knight some opportunity to score. And they're like, yo, y'all need to get your stuff together. Y'all too. So I felt like that was the initial package that they were trying to run. And like we said, Book Knight had a bit of an off shooting night, but still was hooping, man. Some of the other stuff, the storylines of this game, I feel like that could be talked about is we got to remember that they was in Detroit, and Detroit has a lot of connection to this Charlotte Hornets team. Obviously, Miles Bridges is from Detroit. LaMelo Ball has connections to Detroit with Jermaine Jackson. Jalen Rose was at the game courtside. So this was also a game where folks on this Hornets team was like, yo, we're gonna come and show up and show out because we basically having that second home game, you know what I'm saying? LaMelo's, before the draft, I believe he spent a lot of time in Detroit. We seen Jello actually make the Pistons team based on that same amount of time. But let's check this out, man. Last couple games from LaMelo. So it had some struggle games, man. Cleveland 15-12, Toronto 15, but we're starting to see it come out of that slump a bit versus a pretty good Chicago Bulls team, gave you 33, and then versus the Detroit team gave you 31, 12, and 5. Solid performances. I think that it will be interesting to see at the day when the All-Star game kicks off, what my man's official stat line will be at that time. We're watching that. We're going to keep talking about that because your boy AB Hero, I can't let this go. I can't let it go. But it's all good in the hood. If you're not in the Discord, you got to do that, man. We be having some good conversations over here. Hit the general boo bops, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Folks being here talking, and we just, you know what I mean? You know how that is. Also, if you got some topic suggestions, you can throw them in here. You got some videos you want to react to. We are bringing that body language series that we do. I think I'm going to expand that into not just, you know what I mean, into our normal storyline, but with other topics and things as well. So we did the one with Russell Westbrook, and so if you got like a clip that you saw on the net and it needs some analyzation from a body language standpoint, you know what I'm saying, especially post-game press conference or whatever, send that to your boy AB the Hero. We're gonna check it out.
No, not peace. +1, triple B's. We out.
There it is.